wonderful beings, whoever may be watching this, or horrible people if they watch this. I don't care if you're a good or horrible person watching my stuff, but it's a big episode right now because it's episode 40. All right, and I brought Tom Patterson here. All right, another local comic from the area. He could tell you about himself, but you'll see. You'll know the name of Tip Top Tommy. Exactly. I heard it in a FIFA game because they called my favorite. It was like, oh, the Tip Top Tottenham. So it's like anything with like a T. It's like you could just say it for.
Tip Top.
Tip Top. It sounds funny when it's British.
British. Yeah, that's what that is.
Speaking of with British, you know Kevin Benoit, right?
Yeah.
In the woodshed parking
he
lot
moved
one
over
time.
From the East Coast?
Yeah, from Florida.
Yeah.
I was just doing a random British rap thing one day just for the hell of it. And then he approached me like, oh my God, that's actually good. It's like, wait, I can't tell if this is sarcastic or real. I was doing like a black British voice in my head, and for some reason I'm being told it was good.
They got a lot of French people over there, right?
They do. Oh, in yeah, there's like some French people that go.
Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Yes, they do have a lot of French people. Yeah. Lots of French people.
They probably get all over the world. That's how he knows what...
He's Mr. Worldwide. That's what Pitbull really is, all right? He's not Cuban, all right? He's French. And we say that
he is French?
I don't think so. But let's just think. France, they had colonies in East Asia, Africa, I believe even some in South America, or were they just Louisiana? Whatever that may be. It is what it is. But it's good to see you, Tom. How you like it here?
I love it here, man. I grew up here.
You grew up in this area?
Born and raised.
I'm almost a decade in this area. It was August 2014 I started living here. So I didn't live that first summer, but every other summer since I've lived here.
I didn't realize it's been that long.
It has, just for myself. Oh, I remember it before.
Yeah, it's hot as fuck, that's for sure.
I remember when Goodyear was more of nothing, and now they actually have something there.
Goodyear?
Yes, Goodyear.
I can't remember the last time I've
Apache
been
Junction
there.
is still a punchline, so that's never changed.
That's for sure.
It is. Because for us, where I'm from, Apache, the equivalent of Apache Junction, probably the closest is Stockton, and even that's not as run down and decrepit.
Yeah, talk about.
If anything, Stockton would be like a South Phoenix type, where it's like you go to some place and you think it's bad, and it's like, well, this is actually the nice area.
Yeah, it's an actual city. Yeah.
It has its own little, and they have an honor.
Because that's like a small town, you know.
Oh, South Phoenix itself?
Oh, no, AJ.
Oh, Apache Junction.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been out there for the Renaissance Festival when they do it over there. But
oh, fuck yeah, dude.
It's just I don't want to take the freaking, or is it the 60 all the way out there?
Wait in line for 45 minutes till you get in the parking lot.
It's that whole line. Oh, that line to get in everywhere. But I mean, that's anything with a bottleneck. Like I remember going to the Phoenix Raceway for a NASCAR race, and I didn't realize why we were arriving when gates open until we got into our seats a little in, and you see the line of people to get in. It's like, holy crap.
Is that Firebird? Phoenix Raceway?
No, that's the Avondale.
Avondale?
Are you thinking of Thunderbird?
Maybe I am. Where's Thunderbird?
That's the whole that business management school.
No, I was thinking of the racetrack.
Oh, the racetrack.
They used to do drag races down there that I know of.
I know there's an area for that. I want to say it's actually there is something for Mesa in there, but that might be dirt tracks. I'm not part of anyone who owns a Nissan or a crappy BMW. Please tell us. Crappy BMWs, all right. We don't need some good ones. Oh, and also this is another weird thing. I learned what BMW stands for.
What?
Bijenschap Multivenwerke.
No, does it?
Bijenschap Multivenwerke.
Bijenschap Multivenwerke.
It's like Bayer SCHE. Bijenschap Multivenwerke.
But that's German.
Yeah.
Those are the German words.
Yeah.
But what does it actually translate to?
Like Bayern Motorworks. Okay. Bavaria. That's where
sure.
it is. They're in Munich.
Bayern Motorworks. That's interesting.
And then I have a Volvo, which I know where they are. They're in Wolfsburg.
That's Sweden, Right. Isn't
Wolfsburg.
it sweet?
It's also in Germany. You're thinking of Volvo. Volvo's a Swedish car.
Didn't you say you had a Volvo?
No, I got the Volkswagen.
Oh, Volkswagen.
Yeah, Wolfsburg. Actually, I know this all because of soccer, because they own teams all there. Partial ownerships. Wolfsburg, there.
Do you know what that one means?
Oh, the People's car.
Yeah.
The People's car.
Yeah.
And it was
My brother taught me
The
that.
company was started in 1937. So my car is the originates the manufacturer from 1937 Germany. And that was a very business-like time for Germany, if we could say. There's business getting down there. Not good business, especially with, I will keep it NDA, won't say their name, but my work client, not as great with it. It's not. But anyway, away from Tom. So being here, you're learning here. And now, where's people like me polluting the area coming from California because we don't want to live with our parents into our 30s?
Yeah, I never really cared about
Gavin?
moving. People moving here. People have always moved here for a long time. Lots.
Well, for a while, wasn't that because of it started once? Was it air conditioning became more commercially available?
Yeah.
After World War II, because I think I saw that, and there was like a 300% increase in the population within a decade after the invention of just standard air conditioning.
Yeah. What a lifesaver that is, dude.
Imagine if it wasn't for that, like you couldn't the whole, even with all the oil they have in the
It
Middle
hurt
East.
us, dude.
It's because it's on the automatic one or however it is, just the cool fan. But I think it's about like between 76, 80 here.
It's the house ghost.
The house ghost. The house ghost. His name is Paul Rubin. All right, we have the ghost.
Oh my god.
He's right next.
Pee-wee. Come back. Hey,
He's
Pee-wee.
right next. He's right next to us, Tom. You want to know what Paul Rubin's doing right here? He's watching a porno and jerking off.
I felt something.
All right, and that's the biggest loss, Pee Wee Herman, jerking off in a movie theater. Something we don't get much now. Tony Bennett dying. Well, you just get these weird people who lived off Las Vegas for years and were the last to die out from it. And then Sinead O'Connor. All right, that is a loss for dykes and alcoholics around the world, in my opinion.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, Sinead O'Connor. She's the Irish singer with bald head.
Yeah.
But for dykes and alcoholics, which is pretty much just all Irish people. Like you probably have Irish grandparents, right?
I think Scottish.
Okay, Scott. Okay, so Scott's.
Paterson.
Okay. That's
Patterson,
a little.
Paterson.
Paterson. Hello, Mr. Paterson.
Yeah.
We are getting you here in Aberdeen. Oh, your family came from Aberdeen, Mr. Patterson.
My favorite beer is probably Guinness.
But that's Irish.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you also have alcoholic grandparents in your. Because I had it with my
That's for damn
grandmother.
sure.
Yeah, it was. I mean, she died when I was 7. My parents told me, oh, she fell asleep in the hot tub. No, she was drinking. She was drinking. And they also told me at the family gathering this past year, it's like, she only got 2 DUIs ever, and she should have gotten more. And these are 1970s, 1980s
Yeah,
DUIs.
exactly,
So
dude. That's when they're letting you off.
There had to be at least $10,000 in that nominal rate of money damage. There's no way that she did not only have 2.
Wow, that's a good point.
And I sort of like to be ruthless towards her because when I was a child, she would not give me a break for not using proper grammatical English. Just because it's like, if you do something good, you do it well. Shut up! I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah. At least I didn't crash the car into a tree, Grandma.
Oh, thank God for that. Jesus. I will say with what sucks, and the one accident where I've been in it and I was T-boned, it was someone who was under 18. So it took more than 2 weeks just to process the damn claim. Even though, police arrived, she was given a ticket because it's like, hey, I had the right of way going straight. She was going out turning.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So, please do not, with younger kids, please, only go on the road when there's less people.
Yeah, and don't drink and drive.
Oh, yeah, with that. Well, that's a normal thing. Although, I shouldn't say...
I'd wait if they wait till they're 21, or maybe that'd be good.
Except with my car, because it's manual transmission, I can drive it better drunk than most people can sober. which I try not to do drunk. Now, fairly buzzed and a level that would get me a D, yes. However, I have stopped myself on, I know, 4 occasions from driving by either taking an Uber and getting my car the next day or sleeping it off. So I have had 4 instances, 3 in college and 1 after college, where I've realized, hey, I shouldn't drive.
I liked how you said buzzed or at a level that would give me a
DUI. And this is the worst state for it.
Yeah.
Like I learned.
That's like all they're looking for.
Especially in the holidays, I see it like on New Year's, like at the night New Year's, you just see those Maricopa County sheriffs' vehicles just pulling into other places. Like, oh. That's why when I went out, I waited till after, and then I went to someone's house after midnight hit. It's like, all right, now I'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'll be sober during that, but when I get to their place and drive back, they'll be done with theirs, and I'll be driving back home. I was fairly not sober.
It'd be nice to know the shift changes, huh? With police.
Well, typically they are the whole 8 hour, unless obviously there's overtime.
When does that 8 hours start, though?
Probably once they arrive at the station, because you have to do stuff. I remember this from, if you can believe it, me doing Police Explorers when I was in high school. You have to, like, log in with everything, like, check your vehicle.
So you're saying that, like, 8 o'clock, it's that, and the...
Or a lot do 12 hours.
24
Because, I mean, obviously each
so
department, but some, like, 8 to 12, like a shift. But then if it's like a 12-hour, you typically will, like, hey, you'll work 3 days in a week and non-consecutive.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. No, they have to change the stuff for jobs, all these regulations, like pilots. They're now increasing the age at which they make pilots retire just because of a lack of pilots.
Oh, wow.
And you know why that's the case?
They're blind as fuck.
Because it's not like the days of Pan Am Air where you know that pilot was shagging every one of the air. Everyone.
No more Solis out there. Huh?
Every one of those flight attendants. In fact, the pilots were probably taking turns. They'd probably have one pilot go to the back, fuck a pair of the flight attendants, come back, and then they switch places.
It's a dream, dude.
Back before the airlines got HR.
Is that some type of herpes?
That should be. Honestly, that should be a type to refer to HR herpes. It's like, oh, you got the HR. I'm coming up with ideas to increase the supply of pilots we have, all right? We could just pay a bunch of Chinese people to come in here. Although, have you ever seen the flight routes they take? It's insane. Oh, because most of the Chinese government owns so much airspace, like the federal government, to get around. You have to like do weird. You have to do like weird. It's like what? It's like air patterns. Because it's like here, it's like no fly zones. There's like some, but there, it's like most of the country is a no fly zone.
Yeah, no, I never checked that out.
So it's like you see like something that's straight. It's like, all right, this should probably only take an hour, but they have to do like 2.5 hours because they have to do a whole loop.
Fly over all the chemical lab testing.
That's probably what it is. It's that.
Wuhan.
And Wuhan. Oh yeah, don't want to go over there. The animal market.
The air's toxic.
I remember something I was remembering, but I remember why they let it spread from when it happened, because it was the same time as Lunar New Year, and that's like the big money time. So they don't want people like panic during then. So they're like, oh, it's nothing, because it didn't get alerted till like people in Thailand. They caught it, and then they're like, hey, this is something. And then that was like the first time they actually got to see someone with the case, because China's like, no, you can't see it.
Oh, shit. That's the first time I ever heard that explained. You actually, you're like an intellectual. You know way more stuff than I do.
Somewhat. If anything, I like to be a Trojan horse on the outside of intellect, but inside, but on the outside, you just think, there is no way this guy has anything more than a GED, which I'm fine with that. It's fun. It's honestly fun to see people when they don't expect it. Like the roasting. You've done it before, right?
I've never done a roast. Well,
the Josh Harrison roast?
Yeah, I went up. We didn't roast, though. We just did 3 random topics.
Oh, you did pulling from the bucket.
It was the audience, but yeah.
Okay. So they got to decide from that what they like best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went against Nick Ryback, and apparently I was doing better at the beginning and then fell up. But many people there, the judges, which were Spider Jones, Anthony A, and Peter Jordan, response like I was like, "Hey, you did better than I expected." It's like, "Oh, you guys really thought low of me for this. You really thought I could." And I didn't get to because you're only supposed to do 5, but I had 13 for Ryback. So I tried to put an order in. I missed the last, which I think could have won it, which is like he looks like, because it was Pride Month. He celebrates Pride Month every month by looking like a lesbian Johnny Knoxville.
I don't even know who he is.
Ryback?
It's a good joke though. Yeah.
With
Seth was talking about him.
Oh, yeah.
Is he still around?
Yeah. Well, it's because he goes to law school in Chicago, but he's been back for the summer, and he works House of Comedy. Yeah. He does a lot of spots there. He's very good with it. But I know there was a time where, because he had gotten into some confidence powder for his nose, he got back into it. Because when he first arrived, he's like, "Oh, I'm trying not to get into that, so I'm gonna do any drug that isn't that." Because I remember he arrived at Pub Rock Live and he was just eating shrooms.
Oh wow.
Just like out in the parking lot openly.
Well, that's a good fucking night.
And
as long as you're not driving.
Oh yeah. Well, he had some time too.
Microdose that shit.
Yeah. Like he did it twice, but I want to say it was just like a cap or like a stem. He wasn't doing a bunch. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I love shrooms, man.
Shrooms, I've had both the good and bad, not like horrible experiences, but just where it got to, it's like, all right, I need to get out of this. And you know what I realize is the way to kind of try to take yourself out of the moment when you need it? Go take a warm shower.
That's a great idea. I try to go to sleep. My mind was so crazy.
You try to go to sleep. Yeah, you try to go to sleep. All right, that's the time I thought I was snorting ecstasy, but apparently, and it seems like I had probably snorted. And I tried to go to sleep at a 20.
You snorted? See?
That's what it was. It was just stuff. It was just powder stuff. And his friends were like, "Hey,
I've
it's
never
ecstasy."
heard of anybody snorting it though.
I don't know.
Oh,
it was like
wild.
maybe it was MDMA. It was something. Whatever it
I'm
was,
sure you
it
can
probably
do it, yeah.
turned out to be meth. And it was fun, but then you're just trying to go to sleep. I remember we all tried to go to sleep at a point, and it's after an hour, it's like, I can't sleep.
I think MD is amphetamine,
Maybe
right?
it was ecstasy. Maybe that's what it was.
I think they are definitely uppers.
Oh, it was definitely an upper for the time, but it just kept it awake. I want to say I didn't go to sleep until 38 hours. And then and then I was depressed for 3 or 4 days, or felt like a low depression. And all the other friends that used it did. I'm like, yeah, probably whatever that is, I should not use it again.
Yeah, catch up on your sleep.
Which honestly is probably luckily I had the weekend. I had to call out of work, and it was kind of weird because I showed up the day before. I was perfectly fine, and it's like, he's like, something came up. I mean, I didn't exploit him for days off work before, so that was the first time I had to exploit a sick day.
Good gosh.
Because I came back and my roommate and 2 friends, they were just seemed so happy and excited. I was just like, after work.
That's a well-deserved sick day, man.
It was just looking back, it's like that's one thing that was an adventure, but I hope to never do again. And those are the best stories.
Yeah, I messed around with that a little bit. Well, actually, meth, dude.
Well, there's a few people I know in our
buddy
scene.
He probably still is into it.
I remember when we were filming something outside a House of Comedy in the parking lot, some guy came into the lot and asked if we had meth on us.
Oh, wow.
It's like, no.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck around with any of that.
Yeah, well, because
or heroin.
It's like the dependency. Oh, I learned from a friend about and he emphasized this to me, you literally can't think about anything else after you've used it.
That's what it was for meth.
Yeah, and it was because when he told that to me, I kind of just
it changes your whole life.
Oh,
when
your
you're
whole brain
up for
composition.
38 hours, you think about life a little bit differently when you don't need to sleep.
And then depressed for the next 3 or 4 days, yes.
Yeah, I've slept for 2 days.
Because I've asked 2 other people that have used meth before, and a friend who's a nurse. It's like, hey, do you think what I had was meth? And they all said, yeah, it probably was. It's like, oh, God. Well,
yeah, if you ever question it, just get a take-home drug test. You find out.
Oh, but isn't like those? It's only like one drug test. Like it's like only like, hey, you could test for cocaine or you could test for.
You
ecstasy.
might be right. Yeah, it might.
Unless
not
it's
be
the
that good.
like those maybe the or I know the
I've
urine,
never bought one.
I know the urine ones. They do like different. Like you buy like a 5-set sample or a 7-set sample.
You ever had to get yourself clean for a test?
No, I had a friend's brother. He would just give one of those travel bottles for like mouthwash. He'd piss in it.
Yeah.
And that worked each time because they make you empty your pockets.
And if there's a window, you could squirt it right by your wiener.
There was no window, but I practiced before he put in his clean urine. I practiced with just like water, like shooting it out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, make sure I got the hand of this.
There's like a different density and it screws up or something.
Yeah, well, it's like you got to do the rate of it, hold it, because you don't want to like shoot all over, and you only need like a certain point, and the rest you like just shoot into there.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's what I had to make sure, or just like keep squirting until I got a bunch in there. And so I've done that twice.
We used to take a Niacin. You ever hear of that?
No, I've never heard of a Niacin.
It's medicine. You take
Is
too
this like
much
in the
of it.
Quaalude days, stuff you could take to really fuck you up?
No, but you take too much of the Niacin, and it's supposed to give you like a fever or burn the drug out of your system. You piss it all out. Drink a bunch of water too. But yeah, I've never failed the test after that.
Okay. Oh, after you did the water or having the Niacin?
You take Niacin, you go to bed, you piss it all out. Drug test that day.
Okay, and that's the
I
ones
haven't
that
had
last
to do that
more.
for a long time.
Well,
but
because also some ones they last longer. Like weirdly enough, even though weed's so like mild compared to the other ones, it for some reason lasts the longest.
in your system, probably because it's tar, dude.
True. Well, I was also thinking in my head it could be, what was it? Your not tolerance part of it's like how much you've used it, but also your what's it called? Like how your body processes.
Yeah.
Chemicals
Metabolism.
Yes,
and shit.
metabolism. Yeah. If you have like a low metabolism, so it's like learning that. So someone that has a high metabolism, let's say they can get it within 2 weeks, whereas someone who doesn't, it takes a month.
Yeah, no doubt.
But all like the other drugs, they're apparently really quick. Like none of them really go past a week.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days, it seems like.
Yeah, like about
Legalize them all.
Or I guess at the point, there's the decriminalizing thing. There was that one guy apparently in, I think, Vancouver, because drugs were decriminalized. He was selling like 2.5 grams of like any drug practically. But then apparently he died from a tainted substance.
Well, that's sad.
People who died for their own inventions. Now, it wasn't the own guy's invention, but the guy who was the CEO of what was those? Not the hoverboards, but the what was it? The people used to ride them, and they had the fuck, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, the guy who was the CEO, no, not the unicycle, the Segways.
Segway.
The guy who bought in like Segway from the original founder died because of a Segway accident.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah. Were you about to say something before I wanted to segue about a dying of invention?
Exactly.
The guy who
I
had
forgot what it was.
It was I brought up the guy with the decriminalized drugstore.
Oh, I was just gonna say I lived in Port Angeles, which is right across the sound or water from Vancouver for a little bit.
Oh, the border up there, the
Port
north.
Angeles, Washington. Yep.
Okay, shit. Yeah, I've heard. What was it like? What I was hearing with the border, there's like some part of that's the United States, but to get to it, you have to like go through Canada and into it. Stupid border things.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Port Angeles. So up there, did you see many of the people who were out strung out in drugs?
Yeah, there's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of meth, heroin.
Makes sense.
But I mean, there's also bald eagles and deer.
Bald
So it
eagles
kinda
and meth.
balances
All
out.
right. What more can you ask for in America? Bald eagles and meth.
They're definitely on meth.
Now that's making me realize I want to do something probably for comedy where I do go into San Francisco and try to look like, where can I find the drug dealers? Where are they?
I don't know. You could probably go to any main street.
Well, I think they have caught down on. They got the California National Guard to come in and at least the dealers crotch down because there were open air markets there.
No way.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't like explicit that was there, but you could turn around and knew people were selling there.
Good hell.
Oh yeah, and I remember there was
It's
one.
decriminalized in California, right?
It was what they
Most drugs are.
I think it's a lot of the county levels, the DAs there. They're like, oh, we won't prosecute possession level stuff, which is fine doing that. The only problem is when these DAs are like, hey, this child got shot on the freeway, but we think the people who shot the child, we think they need a second chance. Therefore, we're going to give them probation. And that's what they practically did with where I'm from in my home on the freeway. Some girl got shot, and they're like, oh, we're going to give this guy like a suspended jail sentence. It's like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Well, it's that whole thing with like, we want to not overload the system. And now I think the DA there is getting recalled or something. There's like a petition recall.
Yeah, that's one that should have got sent in.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Send them into San Francisco.
Meanwhile, I was going to say the drug addicts are getting locked up, but I guess not anymore. The gays.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's an overlap in those communities right there. The gays. I need to make sure it's not always showing my voice. Come on. Work, damn you. I hope I don't have to get the backup for this.
Oh, no.
I might have to. Or no. All right. I just got to keep this twisted to the right. Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
Uh-oh.
This is my janky ass stuff. Come on, work.
I see every once in a while.
Well, you know what?
Something
I'm going
comes
to quickly
on.
just get the new one. I'll be back with it. Oh.
Then the intermission screen comes on. You know, like an intermission screen.
We are here to talk normally now.
Yeah.
I like to try to use my own stuff, but sometimes the janky stuff needs to be worked. I can go get a new one. Maybe I can go ask Juan Montoya, because he works at Guitar Center.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
That's why he's always posting that.
Yeah.
Getting all that equipment.
Dude, he shows that equipment. A lot of the guitar stuff's cool, but then he also shows all this random fitness stuff he's doing. Like, what was one day, that National Ice Cream Day, but he decided, like, on his way to some ice cream shop, he was just going to stop by every frozen yogurt place. And then when his girlfriend picks him up, he shows he has blisters on his feet. He's like, Juan, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Wow.
And it's, like, those... Like, I wish I had that motivation just to do fitness stuff for ridiculous reasons. That'd be fucking cool.
So you can just splurge like that?
Like, just, because he's in, like, such shape.
Yeah, exactly. He's in shape. Whereas if I do it, I'm gaining 10 more pounds.
You probably try to find, like, some route to circle between. It's like, I'm not going to go all, 12 miles to some shop. I'm just going to find some radius and stick within that.
It's crazy.
Speaking of something I was
a
like,
quarter mile radius.
Have you ever had any notable jobs or ones that stuck out with you? Like, yeah, that was kind of ridiculous.
Like a ridiculous job? I've only had a few.
Maybe like ridiculous, but ones you look back, maybe early jobs. Like I remember having to do canvassing. It was after getting laid off during the pandemic thing, political canvassing, and it was because some people like to just talk about their opinion, or they think you're like running for a specific candidate. It's like, no, this is just to get it on the ballot. It don't mean anything.
So you'd have to go up to the door and talk to people?
Public areas, because obviously shopping centers, they can kick you out of there, which I had too. Trader Joe's on Guadalupe and McClintock, and that Walmart on Chandler Boulevard near the 101.
I worked at Amazing Jake's as a busser. That was like the shittiest job I ever had. I wanted to kill myself. But all my buddies worked there, so that kind of made it fun, but they never put us together.
Okay,
so annoying.
That's at least somewhat of a silver lining. See, like with the ones that have shitty jobs, it's more where it's like, oh, we need you in this entry-level position, and we're not going to let you like move up in any way. Even though you have the qualifications and experience to, we're not going to let it happen.
Yeah, I worked at Discount Tire for like 5 years, which is a good job. And then I worked at Fuel Injection Service which is my dad's company, for 10 years. So, I mean, that's like most of my stuff.
So it was the automotive sector you were like working in there?
Rebuilding car parts, fuel
Okay.
injectors, turbos, pumps.
Okay, so it would be more mechanical repairs, not the OEMs. I can't remember what that stands for, but I believe that's when you order, like, for the car when it's brand all new.
Yeah, they're not going to be like a brand new part. Well, they could get the brand new parts, but it's mostly taking an old injector and putting new parts in it and then testing and calibrating them.
Okay, and like making sure it's compatible.
Like
with the system.
remanufacturing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's a remanufacture. Okay, that's a good way to like look at it, because I was seeing that with different. It was like repair parts or like spare repair parts and OEM. So I was like wondering what the heck they were trying to say there.
Yep. Yeah, and then sometimes you got to be OE certified. You got to get these like $500,000 benches. The licensing is like over $100,000
What the $100,000 licensing
for Bosch. Yeah.
Oh, for okay. Well, I was just thinking in general. It's like, okay, if there's like a specific. All right.
No, if you want Bosch.
But wait, is that the company Bosch, or are we talking? So okay, I just want.
Yeah, they make most of the injectors.
Okay. Yeah, I knew
GM.
they made some automotive parts, but I didn't know what. I've seen them in my job.
Yeah, they'll do like dishwashers and home stuff too.
Oh, so they do appliances as well. Okay, so it's electronic appliances, that whole. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can imagine with the.
Good
probably
company. They're just monopoly.
Oh, it's just you kind of see the shady side of it.
Well, when a test bench is $500,000, you know.
For-
Then that license is, from what I heard, $140,000, and then a torque wrench is like $15,000.
Wait, a torque. So being certified for a torque wrench?
No, to buy a Bosch torque wrench.
Oh, to
Like
buy.
this is a Bosch test bench, Bosch torque wrench.
Oh, so the you have to be licensed by the company itself. It's not like a state licensing.
Oh,
No wonder why it's so bullshit. That makes sense now.
Yeah,
Because I was
yeah.
like wondering for a second, it's
You
like, how
just
does a
buy into
state
it.
license it? It's like, oh, that's how they.
They'll put you through school and everything too. You got to be Bosch certified.
Oh, okay, so it's a whole it's like how freaking McDonald's, to own a freaking chain, you have
Yeah,
to go to
yeah,
their
yeah,
University
That's
and
what it
learn.
is.
Or In-N-Out, you have
It's
to
like
go
a
to their
franchise.
In-N-Out universe. Oh, that makes sense now. Oh, these, that's the equivalent to how in sports they make you like pay for a season ticket by buying a seat license first. Like, before you could buy the tickets, you have to buy the license to it first. It's like, are you kidding me? This unnecessary overhead bullshit just to get more money in. Because I just hear that like $140,000. It's like, where are the costs in this? Where is the overhead?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just to keep it exclusive. That could be what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
to like, oh, there's only very few.
Everything in that field is really expensive.
Because
Even the cheap machines are expensive.
I assume a lot of it has to do with the parts themselves, because of the materials in them probably are constantly
The
fluctuating.
engineering is what it is. They're constantly having to re-engineer the fuel injector.
Oh, because of new different cars, they have to
Yeah,
change the type. Oh, and how does that go now with the electric cars? How's that going into it?
There's struggles, but there's been some engines where they could still last 500,000 miles, 700,000 miles. You just got to do a shit ton more maintenance.
Yeah, I was gonna say for that, because it does seem that.
But
certain
there's some
vehicles-
goose eggs where it's like 60,000 miles, you're having major problems.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's even if you have like, let's say, a basic level of care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the places you change the oil and it's like black, but most places know to do better maintenance than what's expected. Because if they own the vehicle, it'll save them a bunch. But if they're leasing them, I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, you feel like if you're leasing it, probably there's something where like, hey, if it needs to be repaired, bring it to the dealership.
Yeah.
Because I assume with
Yeah.
a dealership that leases, they probably like want to make sure how it's being repaired. They don't want you to fidget with it your own way.
Yeah, that's solid.
But
I
that
wonder
would,
how much it costs.
but with that, at least working in the automotive, you might have at least gained some knowledge that helps you work with your own car. I assume, right?
Yeah, I try to do stuff myself.
Like for me, changing the
I'm
oil
not
and
doing
the filter,
what
that's
I'm doing.
easy.
Yeah.
That's like super easy.
Yeah, that's basically what I do is oil filter. I've done brake lights. I've done fuel filter. I do brakes. All that shit. I'm trying to find some guy now because my mechanic just flaked out. I could do it. It's the fuel sending units, but you might have to drop the fuel tank. I don't know if I want to do that.
It's like, I don't want to make that kind of repair. Damn it. I don't want to have to make this change. I don't want change.
Yeah, that'd be like a 6 or 7 hour job for me probably. Might be stuck on it.
I would take that whole... You know, one thing, and I know I probably have to do at some point because I have a manual, the timing belt.
Yeah, that sucks too.
Except at least with that, then it extends the life of the car fairly well.
Yeah. Oh, that's for dang sure. And what's hard though is if something's in the way. Yeah. How much stuff is in the way?
I was.
You got to get it. Yeah, what you're saying to get to it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it was like far. Okay, because I thought you were first saying like the belt itself, they were stuff in the way of that. But no, that makes sense. Yeah, because that was where the price was.
Some stuff's on top of it. You know, I think I've only seen or helped with a belt change once, and there was stuff you got to take the stuff off, and then there it was, and you got to take a picture of how it's wound through there, and then put it back, and it's hard.
Yeah, because I remember, I think, seeing the belt when I had replaced one before, and there was, like, little edges, there was, like, little cuts on, like, part of the edges of it, and it's like, oh, this is, like, close to the end.
Yeah. You'll know, too. It'll start making a noise. As soon as you hear a noise, you replace it.
Okay, that makes... Well, I knew it was something like 150,000 miles was when to replace it.
You probably should, yeah.
Yeah, because...
Visually inspect it, yeah, like you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know it probably will at some point, but it's like knowing what my parents... Because my first car was the old one they had, which was a 98 Civic, also manual transmission. And that I remember, it was like a little over 1,000, but they said like the part was just 200. It was like the manual was so... Or the labor was so much because of to get to it.
Yeah. If I can just get to the sending units from taking out the back seat, I might do that myself because that seems like it'd be pretty easy. Like this, you just dismount the sensors and put it back on. I don't know, but
find your own adjustments to it. Make it yourself. Make the car yourself.
Yeah, I do plumbing stuff.
See, those are like useful at least to have and stuff when it's. I guess it's then you could do stuff yourself and you at least have a base level.
Yeah.
Because like with me with the cars, it's like if I had to like rotate tires or I saw what changing a tire, like how long it takes from going to discount tire, and they have to put it. This thing is like slowly just like bang on it until it goes down. Or not really like bang, but they just like slowly hit the tire into the rim while it's being rotated.
Oh, with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let the air out and you do that on both sides. Then you get your little thing and
It was just funny because
but yeah, that definitely gives you the confidence and the knowledge to do that stuff. My dad had me doing that stuff too. He'd have me changing his oil on his car growing up.
My dad, he helped me at least like see it at first, so when I had to do it myself, it was a little easier. Also, with changing the tire, got to use the star pattern. Go from one top to the bottom to the side to the side.
He'd give me advice, but as far as like being there and like watching it, nope.
Who's that?
It's more like calling on God. Like, where are you?
Or going on YouTube's DIY.
You gotta figure. Yeah, exactly. YouTube, and if you have a manual, that's really all it takes. A good YouTube video.
Because with me, it was like finding where like everything is. It's like, all right, where's the bolt in the oil pan that I gotta take? It's like, oh, it's right under here, and that's easy. And it's like, okay, how do I get the oil filter out? Well, I have the oil filter cap. Put that underneath, and obviously a bunch of oil will drip out of that. But and then it's like either at least every other oil change doing the filter should be everyone, but. Hey, sometimes we like to skip by.
Yeah, I understand that. I always do the filter.
But that's also why I'm doing used cars most of the time, because at least my theory, until I have a mortgage, I ain't getting a new car.
Yours doesn't have a turbo, right?
No,
Yeah. Yeah. I used to do that with my old car. I do every other filter.
Okay.
When you have a turbo, it's more important.
Oh, that makes total sense.
You got to like half your maintenance.
I know.
Otherwise, people have had their turbos blow out at like 60,000 miles when really they shouldn't blow out ever because they're just floating and they got oil in there.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, switching because it's the last like 20 minutes of it, we should probably talk more in the comedy sense. So, in the area, you started. When did you start?
So last October, I think. I was thinking it was August or September, but looking at dates.
What was the venue? Was it Woodshed or one of the other ones?
The first one I went to was JP's and Improv Mania.
Okay, Improv Mania was the first place I went to as well.
Yeah, that was awesome. Both of them were awesome. I also did 6 months of comedy. I did open mics, but that was like in 2017.
Okay, so it was like some time ago.
Then I got divorced. I tried to save a marriage.
Hey, at least you could reflect and realize it was tried to. You're not someone who looks back. He's like, no, we can save this. We can save our marriage. Let's just go to a therapist.
Yeah, no, we definitely tried.
But it's at least like when you recognize that, because if you
I
can
had to
recognize
make money
it,
though, and at a certain point, and then that sucks too. So then you just gotta do what you love doing.
It's enjoyable to do, and I understand when people, like, let's say have kids. Like, Abrar now had his first child, so I really don't expect. It used to be maybe a few open mics you go to a year, and I don't expect any of that now.
Who's Berard?
Abrar.
Abrar?
Abrar.
Abrar.
Abrar Maniar. He's
I don't
from
know.
India, but he's been living in Arizona as long as me, and he had his first child. I think it was last month.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's for sure. My daughter, she's 9 years old, and I have 50-50 custody. So I'd go any night I don't have her, I do comedy.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's what makes it nice. Yeah.
Makes sense, and I hope like with your daughter's like you're at least able to like cooperate doing it. It's not like those parents that are just so at each other's throats.
Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty easy going.
Well, that's good.
She's always threatening me with taking away my kid and stuff.
Okay, well that seems like an issue then. Okay.
Every couple months, there's something small,
God,
and she's like, maybe she should just come over here and live over here for the whole week. I was like,
oh, and she doesn't say that like in a joking mood. She said that like
no,
seriously.
yeah, like
okay, well that's
fucking 6-paragraph text, and it's like, go fuck yourself.
Well, that's just like, God, that's like shitty pettiness, and unfortunately, the child has to see that, and hopefully they see it's petty now, but maybe it won't be until later.
Just through text, I mean, she could probably see that we're in a bad mood or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't talk about stuff in front of her too, but I don't know about my ex. Like if she hears arguments or something.
Oh,
because she's remarried and.
Well, I mean, over time, the kid will like know, like at least over time. Even if they don't know it now, they'll realize over. Because I had that with a friend. He realized his divorced parents. Like, yeah, one was like always like angry at the other one, and the other was very like more more calm, like compliant. And so, like they kind of were confused at first, but over time they're like, yeah, it's like their mother was crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes time to do that, and it's like one of those things. Like, can you not think about yourself for a second and just want to raise your damn kid properly?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No,
I love being a dad.
I hope to have kids in the future, but it's more so when I have enemies, I could tell the kid, hey, can you go kick him over in the zipper? Thank you. And just go right behind me, because I'm willing to fight a man who's just been kicked in his balls. I'm willing to fight him right there. He doesn't have the great base.
He's got stability knocked out.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have the best balance on him, so he can't, he has to like keep like an inside stance, so he doesn't have much. He doesn't have the power.
He's about to throw up.
That could be. I don't know how hard the kid hit him.
Yeah. Who?
Just hit him in the zipper. I remember once when I had an ex, her 7-year-old, and this is totally a me thing. Her niece wanted to paint my nails, so I let her. But during that time, I explained to her why the Chinese government was evil. Now I started with. Here's how I started with. I brought up the whole Winnie the Pooh
How old is
censorship.
she?
She was 7 at the time, and she wanted to paint nails, so I let her. But I was like, this is a time to indoctrinate the kids. So it's like, all right, you want to know what they do, Winnie the Pooh? If you compare them to their president, they censor you and throw you in jail. And then I brought up Tiananmen Square, and then I brought up the Uyghurs in
true?
Xinjiang. Oh, Tiananmen Square?
No, the Winnie the Pooh to the.
Oh, so that is, you can't. Winnie the Pooh is allowed, but you cannot associate him with the if he is in any way, then that's like considered illegal.
Wow.
Yeah, because
you
people
think it'd be an honor.
What, a golden bear who doesn't wear pants?
That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like because they have to go around protesting for like a while, like to make fun of him. They had to like just put Winnie the Pooh as him, and then that got banned. And so they have like all these different ways around it. All these places that censor is like people will just protest in some weird way around.
Yeah, I don't believe in censoring.
Oh yeah, I don't. It's like just say it like how it is now. Obviously, if you're doing, as we say, imminent danger, then there's a problem.
Yeah, most society is not censored.
Or it's I know like Europe, a lot of ones there. It's like, oh, if you are like a different way of being like a bigot, it's like you can be put to jail and stuff like that.
Oh, well.
Or like in the UK, someone tried to present like if you misgender someone, this is considered a violent act.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, I'm all for protecting them.
Yeah, and obviously like with kids, we understand like, hey, we're gonna keep stuff away from them. Now, if they explore into that, then they've done it on their own, which I realize with my younger cousins. I won't put them into bad media, but if they find it themselves, then they'll be able to explore it.
Yeah, they'll know what they're curious about,
Yeah.
or what makes them get hard.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more like, hey, I'm not going to show them an ISIS execution video, but if they go on their own, I could show them my 2 favorite ones: the guy running with the backpack, and then the 6-year-old shooting someone. See, it's the cutest ISIS execution video. He couldn't have been more than 6. This guy takes a gun about the size, just like a little small one, but the kid, it's like a whole handgun to him.
Extra rice today, son. You did good.
Basmati. And it was so hilarious because the other ones are very gruesome. All right, they show people's heads getting chopped off. That's too gory for me. Don't like that. But a 6-year-old shooting a guy tied to the fence. That's cute.
Cute face.
It was.
While he's doing it.
He was such an adorable
I'm surprised
child.
he could hold the gun.
Well, it was the guy who gave it to him. It was like literally like if I was doing like a finger gun like this, it was like that size in his pocket. So then he gives it to the 6-year-old. It looks like a normal handgun. It was adorable, Tom. And I want to find it. I found the guy running zigzag in the desert.
Let's watch it right now.
I could only find the zigzag in the desert one again. I could not find the child, and I want to find the child one because it was the best one I've ever seen.
Oh, really? It's been taken off.
Well, it's because I had to search through Bing. You can't find the site through Google, and so I looking through Bing found it. Some page, it had kind of a dark red background, not exactly like too gory, but it looked like a message board, and it has different like links, and it goes to a video.
Along with your address.
Maybe that's what was sent to ISIS. But they have good... It was very well produced, I will say. It was very well produced.
It was well produced.
So no wonder why they have such
lighting
good
and stuff in the cave.
Or it was like outside, but like they had like the multiple camera angles.
I'm like doing racist shit.
That's what it was. Well, it was just you see the guy tied to the fence. Then you see like a child walk up. The adult come up. He hands him the gun. And then it was like, this is adorable.
Wow.
I wish I had bookmarked that page. I'm so upset with myself.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. That's funny. A bookmark.
I really want to find it again. I could like at some point find the one with the guy zigzag running, and then he's wearing the backpack, and then it blows up, and his legs just fall, but his torso flies like about 25, 30 yards.
Good hell. Oh.
It was like a pass from Brett Favre. But back with comedy and stuff. So Improv Mania, JP. Okay, so yeah, East Valley.
And then I found out about Woodshed.
Yeah, for me, it was like finding devils, and then there was El Charo, down on the El Charro Woodshed. Although I just went to El Charro at first, I did do Woodshed as well. And then Thursday, before it was Wayward, I'm trying to remember what was the play. Oh, it was Improv Mania JP's. Now that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before Mic Drop.
Oh, before they did that whole, well, they changed. Well, it was Improv Mania switching over to Mic Drop.
Yeah, I started for the last few weeks that Improv Mania was around.
Okay, yeah, before they did their transformation. Okay, yeah. I like that one because.
What about you?
Well, it was Improv Mania just the first 2 months because my first 2 months I only went once a week. How long you been doing it? May 27th, 2021 is when I first did it. But my first 2 months, I literally just until from that May to like the last Thursday in July, I only went there, and then I realized, I have to go to other places if I want to get good. Mm. So then, there was Devils doing that, and then Tuesdays for a while I did. It's a booked mic. The one Tickle Your Bone on Cave Creek Road in Bell. That one ran by Sean McCarthy. I went to that, and I like that.
Bridges Last Laugh.
Yeah. Have I been to it when you've been on the lineup there?
I haven't gone out because that's on Tuesday. And I usually Monday and Tuesday I got my daughter most of the time.
Okay, that makes sense and stuff. All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I heard that's a good mic. That and Bullshooters.
It's a good. I haven't been to Bullshooters yet because it's either Pub Rock Live or I go to the Tickle Your Bone. But it's in a dive bar, but it's like a side room, and it's usually filled. Now, last time I was there, it was not a good show, and even like Sean admitted it. But usually it is. Usually, actually, have a pretty good audience and stuff.
Yeah, anywhere there's an audience, 5 or more people. That's my sweet spot. I just love it though. Otherwise, you're talking to the same comedians. Yeah,
I'm learning with the comedians. It's best to go into like crowd work when they're there, or just like your new regular shit, because
just riff and mess around.
Yeah, because when it's only them, it's like it's the only thing to do. Because
unless I'm trying to get ready for a show and I want to make sure I memorize the lineup.
Oh, nice.
You ever do that?
With when I have like a
right
book
before
spot?
a show, yeah, you just run through your set a couple times.
Maybe not as much running through the set, but what I will do is, let's say if I have a book set in the week, I'll make sure within a week before that show, I will be at a place I don't normally go for like open mics, just to get that feeling of being in a different environment, having to do comedy. Because something I learned from Peter Jordan: never do the same set of open mics each and every week, and even if that means like 1 week. You do one you don't normally do, or 1 week you do one you do, or don't do one you do normally do. It's just you don't want to get too comfortable in one environment.
No, that's good. I never thought about that.
You don't want to be one of those people where you only go up at some of the more nicer places, and then you end up going to a Devil's or a Woodshed, and no one cares about your jokes, and you wonder why.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that. That's why I like Woodshed. It reminded me of like the places back in 2017. Like just you got to really work for it, draw them in somehow.
I like learning how to do that. That's one of my favorite things of trying to learn how to do now is like, okay, people are paying attention. And when you do,
it's sweet. Right?
Oh, you get their like if you get people at the bar actually looking, it's like, okay, that's like good.
Yeah. When it happens, it's awesome.
Because there will be times like I've had it before. I'm in the middle of my bit, and I see people at the bar looking, and I'm just thinking, "Oh my god, I'm actually getting the attention."
Fuck yeah, dude!
And it like feels good. It's like okay.
Well, you got real interesting points there. You go up there and talk about, dude. There's no one else there going up talking what you talk.
Well, that's because like recognizing strengths and weaknesses. Like I know my weakness is like I have to slow down for the applause break sometimes, because sometimes they don't allow it.
Yeah, no, right.
And it's just been funny because it's like,
I've
take
done
an
that too.
AM talk radio station and just turn it up by a 10% rate, and that's what it's like with me. But another good advice, and I got it from
talk radio on crack.
Like that's practically what it is. If you took like something between InfoWars and the BBC News, with me.
Yeah, that's good advertisement.
It's like one I've wanted to do recently because I've been hearing it back in the news I listen to is
InfoWars.
InfoWars.
That's
Alex Jones. Yeah. I hate when they had to take all this stuff off YouTube because they had some of his funniest thing I found with a friend is when he tried to do an impression of Bill Gates. He's like, oh, I'm Bill Gates. Like, it was just such a poorly done impression, but hilarious. It's like, oh, man.
He is a funny dude. I've only seen him on like Rogan and stuff.
I'm like seriously convinced that when he was on the major platforms, most of his audience was just watching for amusement.
Oh hell yeah!
Although around here, I've seen two.
He said funny shit all the time.
I've seen one person at a grocery store wearing his. Oh, he does say funny, like wearing one of his shirts, like the truth is out there or something like that, or like an InfoWars shirt. It was a guy wearing an InfoWars shirt.
I mean, he actually did some legit stuff back in the day.
Oh,
right?
we're talking about like yeah. Well, I know he was like protesting, like I think it was NAFTA or something in Seattle. They were having like some economic trade forum and protesting out there, and it's like, yeah, there is some shady shit here. But here's something interesting I learned about Alex Jones: the more details he goes into with any subject, the more it's likely false.
Yeah.
If he barely says something about one topic, it's probably true. And if he says nothing, or if he just says a bunch about one subject, it's like it's probably false.
No, I get it. Yeah, take half of what he says.
And I always like to look up the different people that have sued him, like how Chobani Yogurt, they sued him because he tried saying there was chemicals that like affects your brain. It was just hilarious. I would have loved to be the person who works in the mailbox. Yeah, because he obviously said fake shit. I think it wasn't too much in a fine. Like, it was somewhere 5 figures, but he had to do, like, the public statement saying, like, Chobani Yogurt does not cost.
It's so crazy, dude.
And something about him that has to be recognized, like, he's done,
That's
like,
funny
in terms of
podcasting.
In terms of podcasting, he's probably one of the early podcasters that had something, like, successful, like, daily. He went on, and he just does this, like, his spiel.
You're right.
Which after he got banned there were funny moments. One was he was wearing like a donkey mask, and then he took it off to reveal a lizard mask underneath. And he was just like speaking.
He's a Scientologist.
Or no, he is not the
Scientologist. The lizards.
Or he was saying like the lizard people.
Yeah.
Or
that's what Scientologists believe.
Or isn't it theirs? They think like you have different parts of your brain. There's like a rational, irrational side, and you have to control it.
Probably that too, but I think their god is like alien.
Xenu, Xenu.
Lizard people, right?
It's like an
or
evil
lizard
lord.
People come up from
it's
the
like
volcano.
An alien, or it's souls were dropped into the volcano, and then out of that, like they were dropped from Lord Xenu's spaceship, dropped into volcanoes, came out, and then they went into people.
Oh wow.
I always like to bring this up.
I
hate them, but it's mostly because they blocked me on Twitter, or now called X. And they blocked me because I called them a pyramid scheme religion, which they are. You have to do more diagnostic tests and pay for them to move up in the church. That is a pyramid scheme if you have to pay to move up.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
You pay for it. And then you got to like I don't know, at what point are people moving into these compounds and living there and like being trapped in there and can't escape?
Well, you have to, what is it, that billion-year contract you signed to be part of like their ship crew? Wow. They did some insane shit because they think like, oh, you'll like be put into a different soul after you die, but it's like
a billion-year contract.
That's what it was, or something. It was like obviously an exponential amount of years. It might have just been a million years. Either way, it's a contract which no one's gonna live in a lifetime. Yeah. It's
sell your soul.
I wish all the other religions they would push to get rid of Scientology as a designated religion, only so they can't get a tax break, because that's why it was created. There's a documentary Going Clear where it shows like they were harassing IRS agents just to be designated as an actual religion. And then when they got it, they like all celebrated. David Miscavige, that piece of shit who runs it.
Well,
Where are you, David Miscavige? Fuck you. I wish, and I have a bit about this. We would think about 9/11 differently if they crash into the Scientology headquarters. We would think good. We would think good of those terrorists. We would be praising the names of the 21 hijackers from 9/11 if that would be one spot. There's got to be 2 other spots for them to hit. Where are other shitty people?
The Westboro Baptist Church. Oh
yeah, true. Oh god, those like they're smart in a lawyer sense, but they are absolute shitheads.
Garbage.
It's I have a bit about them too. Where I was searching in this sign and what was it? forgot what was his name, but he had a sign that said Topeka, City of Horrors. And I'm talking about like no one goes to Topeka,
Kansas?
Yeah, it's like no one goes to Topeka and is wow, look at the abundance of horrors. And I bring it up as like if there's anything that's gonna happen in Topeka, your neighbor's gonna murder you for a petty reason like not returning the lawnmower on time.
Yeah, having your cattle break into his yard.
You hurt my crops. I'm gonna get you.
Yep. What'd I tell you about sticking that fence?
It's like, what do you talk about letting your cattle into my garden, Travis? You piece of shit.
You dirty son of a bitch.
You piece of shit. Why don't you go back to Omaha with all your other pedophiles as well? Not to say Omaha's full of pedophiles, but let's just say children get trafficked there a lot.
Oh, no.
It is. Omaha, was it Federal Credit Union of Omaha? That's where they get trafficked from.
From or to?
From. Where they go to, and here's what I believe. 1062 North Orange Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Why?
God damn.
That's where over 285,000 companies like Coca-Cola, Disney have registered their company for the tax breaks. And you know what I think there in that building? There's children chained into the basement that are getting fucked by the CEOs of major companies on a multitude basis.
A business trip.
And yeah, exactly. Why do you think they all these corporations have it in this one spot? 285,000. They know what they're doing.
God damn.
Just,
I think Phoenix is a hot spot too.
Phoenix is a hot spot for pyramid schemes.
For trafficking, man.
Oh, it is, yeah.
A lot of kids get kidnapped.
The kidnapping capital of the United States, Phoenix.
Is it?
That's what I found. It was designated like the highest rate of kidnapping for a metropolitan.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Well, because there's a lot of the cartel stuff
crazy.
That goes on.
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they have like hubs
Here
set
in
up
Texas.
Here. Apparently, here's also a place where a lot of Asian immigrant or like illegal Asian immigrants are being sent to because obviously, like the West Coast ones, like they're pretty like known there, so they have them spotted out. Whereas here, it's like, hey, they're not expecting Asians to show up here. Hey, it's just a thought. It's like why they send the Somalians to Minnesota. No one expects them there. This is the observation with it. But now that we have hit the mark, we are getting towards the end. A few things to wrap up, Tom.
Where is it?
Oh,
wow. That was fast. To wrap up, I fucking love it.
Hell yeah.
Done a few shows and maybe some this month.
Exactly. And I like the moment you're building. Obviously, you're still building your set, still getting involved, but it does take like about like half a year, full year, even just to feel comfortable, and even like another year just to get like a feel like a decent set down. But I mean, you have like I know the one you said about looking like all your family is roadies for Metallica.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that totally works. Tell them what they don't realize when looking at you, but when they do, it's like, oh yeah, I see that.
That was given to me by David. I took a class at Mic Drop.
Oh, honestly, when people do the roast of you, they give you that roast and stuff.
Yeah, it was
so
perfect.
You can always take it.
That was something I was looking for to get out of that class.
I think the classes, they're good for like if you're trying to learn joke writing, just the basics of it. Because from what I had heard of it, they don't focus a ton like specifically you, but when you do get that time to like, I guess, hash out your jokes, it's helpful.
Yeah, I was just trying to see what the venues are looking for, you know, what they expect. Try to get in with them, which I don't think I did. If anything, I think David hates me more.
Oh, Dave. Oh, no. Dave likes people. But there's some people Dave doesn't like, and he'll make it more obvious if he doesn't. But he's a great guy. I love Dave.
I think that happened.
You think that? We'll find out if it happened. You can send us a message, Dave, by carrier pigeon if you must. We will receive it, hopefully.
That's great.
Or was it Ryan Paul Johnson or Paul Ryan Johnson? I'm trying to remember his name, his business partner.
I don't know.
He's got similar facial hair to KJ.
I knew the old kid with the mustache that used to work at Improv.
Mustache, kind of like...
Andrew?
Oh, no, not him. No. Oh, you're thinking of Austin.
Austin.
Okay, no, not Austin. No, Austin just had the mustache and stuff. And no, he's a business partner with the real estate stuff with Dave, but he's also does jokes too. He's hilarious.
Oh, I think he was in my class, dude. his name?
Ryan Paul Johnson.
Yeah,
or Paul
yeah.
Ryan. Okay, yeah.
He's got the walker.
Oh yeah, because I forgot what it is, like some motor condition.
He's really funny, dude.
Oh yeah, he's.
He was the reason why I love that class so much. Come in there with just awesome jokes, and they're hilarious.
He's good. He's a good barometer when you're trying to like test the waters with a joke just to see how he would react. Because sometimes like he'll either give a suggestion or like he'll laugh at just how like crude or ridiculous it is.
Yeah, I loved. Yeah, he liked the dark humor.
He does. Hey, because I've realized that with the people who have those conditions, they just like to say the fucked up shit, and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I've seen one who he's like,
it's the shock factor and
like quadriplegic kind of. He had something like, wait till you find out I've been faking this the entire time. Something like that, which is fun. But anyway, we'll wrap it up. Follow Tom on social media. You'll be seeing him. He's putting in the works, just like a man for the Teamsters. But not Jimmy Hoffa, because he went missing.
I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It's been a privilege.
Hell yeah. It's awesome always to have.
Right on.